According to Uvalde Police, a 17-year-old is being charged with creating a false alarm or reported emergency and was arrested Wednesday. They face up to 2 years in jail and a fine as large as $10,000. Uvalde Police say they were tipped off by Uvalde ISD Chief Pete Arredondo, who contacted investigators and told them that the teen had sent messages on Snapchat to 5 current and former Uvalde High School students. The messages from the teen allegedly said he was going to, quote, end the other students as he posed with what appeared to be a handgun. The alleged gun turned out to be a Glock airsoft gun, which shoots plastic pellets and not a real gun. UPD says the teen may be suffering from mental health issues and is now receiving counseling from the school after they admitted to making the threat. This arrest comes just 15 days after the shooting that took the lives of 21 people here in Uvalde. This is still a town that's very shaken and on the edge.
Are some frustrated with the 8 proposals because they say they don't mention anything about gun control. Others, meanwhile, say it's a great start to what they hope will make schools and communities safer after the Robb Elementary mass shooting.
For the first time, we are getting insight on what top Texas officials will discuss about school safety. Expert Dr. Amy Klinger says after the Robb Elementary mass shooting in which 21 died, people have been watching this closely.
Regardless of whether it's legislatively or just from purely an educational viewpoint, everybody wants to do something.
Texas's Speaker of the House, Dade Phelan, tweeted out this letter he sent to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. It comes about a week after the Lieutenant Governor proposed moving $50 million in the budget to buy bulletproof shields for school officers. It says in part, quote, like you, I believe our respective chambers have the obligation to take immediate concrete action.
And I think the key is doing lots of things, not just doing one thing and walking away and saying that's all we need to do.
Speaker Phelan's more than $100 million plan has 8 points. It focuses on expanding access to mental health services and targets interventions for high-risk populations. When it comes to school safety, it proposes using several resources and trainings. Dr. Klinger says there will be a need for training, especially for teachers.
If you're spending $1 on something, you need to spend $1 on training people to use that thing or to respond in some other way. Every scenario you can give me, the educator is the first person or the administrator is the first person that has to deal with it.
Governor Greg Abbott says in part, quote, I applaud both the Lieutenant Governor and Speaker for quickly offering proposals that can immediately make schools safer. He also adds, quote, this is a great start to delivering not only on the needs of the Uvalde community, but for schools and communities across Texas. Not everyone feels the same way. In a statement from Texas Democrats, they say in part, quote, Texas Republicans are moving mountains to be able to avoid the actual issue at hand, guns. They also add, quote, efforts to bolster mental health would be commendable if it was being done in good faith. But even that's dubious considering Governor Abbott and his fellow NRA donor recipients actually cut mental health funding by $211 million this year alone.
Ted Maher had previously been convicted of deadly arson. He was also wanted on several warrants, including larceny, burglary, and fraud. His story even featured on NBC's Dateline. Police say Green had also stolen his estranged wife's 3 dogs, as you see here, back on May 12th before escaping to San Antonio. Today, those dogs were found and reunited with Dr. Kim Lark, who flew to San Antonio to reunite with her pets.
Oh, I feel like I can breathe. I felt like something was sitting on my chest, just how happy I am to have my dogs back. They belong with me.
The dogs named Stormed, Felony, and Zero are nationally certified search and rescue dogs. Lark was able to get them back thanks to private investigator Abel Pena. He interviewed Green's friends and associates and was able to crack the case through the relative of one of the associates.
And lo and behold, she admitted that she had the dogs, and I walked in there and found the 3 dogs plus 8 puppies that one of the dogs had.
The puppies are great grand dogs of the rescue dogs Lark took to the Pentagon after the 9/11 attack. The dogs were found at a location in Kirby. As for how the FBI found Green, the agency received a tip that led them to him. I'm glad those dogs made it back home.